Hi to whoever's out there, if there's anybody out there. I wanted to do this video because I've seen a couple and it seems like it helped the people behind the camera. So this is my version. I'm nearly 35 years old. My life's a failure. It's a tricky one because a lot of it is mental health and a lot of it is being over emotional, which as a guy, especially when you're growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's not good. It's not good. However, when I look at where I am currently in life, 35 years old, it's just a massive reflection on how much of a failure my life has been. I'm 35 years old. I still live at home with my folks because I haven't been able to get me a good enough job that's going to be paying me a wage that I can get out of here. Friend-wise, I've got a couple now and again. Relationships fail massively, and all in all, it just makes you feel like you're a massive failure. A massive failure. It's tough to admit it because you always try and go through life trying to be the best you that you can be. I've always tried to do that. I've kept out of a lot of trouble, and sometimes you wonder, do your life experiences suffer as a result? Are you not having as much fun as everybody else? And what are you trying to prove, either to yourself or to others? But I guess for me, I've been brought up with the morals to try and be the best person I can be. That's like the nicest, the kindest, whatever else. And my patience has kind of tried to reflect that when it comes to relationships. But something about me just doesn't work, I guess. A lot of my struggles come from not having a direction. I went all the way through school. I was, an average school kid. Nothing too mental, nothing too crazy. In the UK, you go through your schools and you do like GCSEs, which is sort of like at the time, it was your first set of real important exams. I did good in a lot of the ones that were important. I didn't do too good in stuff that doesn't matter. From that, I went into A-levels, which is like a little bit higher up, and I didn't do well in my A-levels. But the problem with A-levels is GCSEs, you get to pick two subjects, or you used to. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do down the line for a career. So when you're picking stuff, you're kind of picking without an idea. Same with A-levels. A-levels, I did law, psychology, and graphics. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do interesting stuff. But I came out with ease. Not with ease, but with ease, nearly fails. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Was seeing a girl at the time, and she was in a city far away, and I kept visiting her, and I really liked the architecture of the city, so I had a bit of a light bulb moment that, hey, why don't I go into the building trade? So I went to college. And I think that's where it all started to go wrong, because whilst I was at college, I needed a shoulder operation. And that was my first one. I managed to get all my college stuff done and go there and sort of have my operation and stuff, but the relationship sort of fell down. She was at university, I was not, and obviously with distance and stuff, when it's young love, it doesn't really work. Things happen, and then you're just trying to find out what your path is in life. Now, annoyingly, when I came out of college, learning all this building trade stuff, there was no apprentices available. I couldn't get any sort of job. I couldn't get any sort of knowledge, so I ended up working at the local supermarket, and it was all downhill from there, really. Decided I was going to go to university, so I went to university to study civil engineering. And I think this is where it all started to go wrong for me, my early 20s. University was easy. It was a subject that I picked. I chose to do this, and I really liked it. And I got involved with another girl. And I couldn't understand what was wrong with this relationship. Like, things were getting thrown in my face. It just didn't make any sense. And I tried my hardest because that's what I've seen from my dad, is to do as much as you can and give your all to somebody. And I had this crazy feeling that this was supposed to be the one, you know, but it didn't happen. Again, this is like 2 years later after my first operation. My operation failed and I needed another one. The problem was, things come to a head with this girl, and Christmas, relationship broke down, shoulder operation, and then as a result of the shoulder operation, the university kicked me out. They said that I'd had too much time away and not to come back. But the problem there was, I'd done everything the university asked me. They asked me to be, you know, on with my studies, and I was at the top of all my classes, and they just threw me out. So I must admit that was the first time mentally I crashed. Everything just went wrong all at the same time. And I couldn't deal with it. I really couldn't deal with it. I really enjoyed that uni course, and it was the one thing that I felt was going to put me somewhere in life, and they booted me out. I didn't want to appeal it. I didn't want to go through all the hassle because the mental state just wasn't there. Anyway, fast forward a couple months and I got a job working for an electrician company. It's not what I wanted to do. I was only in the office doing admin, but minimum wage, you do what you do, you try and get by. It wasn't really happening, but the economy was shit. There was nowhere to go. I was applying for all sorts of jobs and nothing was coming back. So eventually they offered me an apprenticeship, and I thought, well, if I can't get out, I might as well try and get something from it. And I did the apprenticeship 4 years, and there was no work during those 4 years for me to get on-site training. So again, I dragged myself through the mud to get my qualifications with no training whatsoever, to come out of that with a qualification. So technically I'm an electrician, but I've got no fucking idea. I moved to a different electrical firm to try and get some knowledge. And bro, when you're put up against apprentices who've got more understanding of stuff than you realise how much of a fraud you are. I didn't want to be an electrician anyway, but the problem was I tried my best to do what I could my side to give me the best chance. But when it comes down to it, and you have no training, you just feel like a fraud. That's all I've done is go through life trying to find who I am and just failing all the way. Like I say, 35 years old, I've watched my closest friends that I do have, that I'm gradually drifting away from. They've grown up, they've got married, they've got kids. I'm still at home inside these four walls, which, by the way, it's about the size of a prison cell. It's just depressing, man. And I try whatever I can to get out of here, and I'm stuck. At 35 years old, I'm watching life rush past, trying not to show anybody that I'm screwed, but I know that I'm the joker of the group. I said to my two friends, like the last time I met up with them 4 months ago or something, I said to him, calm as anything, I was like, I know you guys only keep me around because it make you feel better about your own lives. And they were like, what do you mean? Because when you look in reflection, this is how bad your life could be, and it ain't. But I just needed to get this off my chest. I think I'm carrying a lot of emotional stress and anxiety, and I just needed to just talk to somebody. And unfortunately, you guys were it. You guys were it.